everybody. I am Queen McRib. I am bringing you all the CBL interview coverage as well as all of the back behind the scenes coverage that you guys want to see on all of your favorite teams. And I am actually going to be joined by one of the team managers of my favorite team of the league, CSUN. What is up, Sebaztion?
Hello, nice to be here. I'm happy to be a part of the org in the league. I'm the CSUN Valorant team manager for both the red and the black team, and yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you got to give us some background, like what got you into gaming first and foremost, and what kind of got you into esports as well?
Uh, well, originally I grew up with a Guitar Hero. My dad had the Xbox 360, and so my
Mhm.
first gaming experience was truly on the Guitar Hero. So I really had no knowledge about like FPS shooters at the time growing up, like especially at a very young age. It wasn't until I got into like freshman year of high school, like within eighth grade, that I really got into like BO2, and that's where Black Ops was like my first uh like shooter. And so like from there I kind of like upgraded eventually, got the Xbox and the other consoles that were coming out at the time, and I really was focused on like building a PC because I was
Mhm.
doing a lot of graphic work within the time of high school and a lot of computer work, and I was like really into building PCs. So when I got into PC, I attempted to play competitive Overwatch, and I mean, it was just like something I did for fun. But then when Valorant came out, it was a completely new game, and you know, I really loved Riot. I played a lot of League of Legends growing up too. So, just going into a game that I love the aesthetic, I love the artwork, I love everything about the game, and it's just so cool to be a part of. Just when you get those one taps with the Vandal, it's just so satisfying. And so I really fell in love with the game immediately, and I knew I wanted to do something a part of it, and I just wanted to be like a part of the esports world. And so I reached out to the team, and I originally positioned myself to be a part of the community manager. So instead of taking charge of the entire team, I actually was supposed to just kind of like talk about the events and like do social posts and managing that aspect. But the position was opened, and I actually ended up saying sure. And during the interview, they said, "Hey, would you like to be the season team manager?" And I said, sure, I would like to. And I actually didn't know what I was getting myself into until I actually had a lot of people, reaching out to me on Discord and saying, "Hey, we want your team. We want your team." So, I was like, "Okay, let me get a team together." And so I did tryouts, and luckily enough, I got a great freaking batch of kids. These guys are really playing their hearts out. They're really practicing. My JV team, my black team is, they're really grinding out there. My varsity team is feeling really hot, currently undefeated. So, just all in all, I think everything that's worked out for me, it's been a really great ride so far, and I really want to watch these kids thrive, so just doing it for
Yeah.
fun.
And can you give us some background on your role? Because I know you gave us like a little bit of like a sneak peek, but just because like a lot of us are, we have no idea kind of what goes into college esports, could you kind of give us more of an insight on what your role is?
Definitely, definitely. Well, as a manager, you're basically meant to take charge of, the players and managing the team within like each player within each team. And you want the best interest for every player. You want to make sure that they're playing because they're having fun. They're playing because it's they can. Especially because we're seasoned students. We got to work around schedules. A lot harder than like professional teams and other things. We also gotta there's gonna be disputes. There's gonna be people that are getting angry. Tilted. Someone's gonna get tilted. Someone's gonna start tilting the team, or someone is not really working right. You got to talk to your team. You got to really be able to communicate with them. Be a part of their practices. Just kind of listening to their comms. Personally, I've been lacking. I need to actually just sit down, and really chat with these guys. But being a part of the CSUN team just really taught me to you gotta really be able to communicate properly with other people. And so far, I've been having a great time with these kids. I've gotten to know them, for who they are as gamers, and most of them are amazing. So that's really what goes into it. And as of like with recruiting other players, I mean, you kind of you'll get other players reach out to you, but you also want to be able to determine, is this person going to be good for the team currently that we have? Is it
Yeah.
going to require something that they need fixing? What, like, are they even qualified? Yeah, they could be the highest rank, but are they going to be able to really mesh with the team that we currently have. Our varsity team, is just like
Mhm.
currently, rocking it. What if we bring someone else or a sub up or, one of the JV players, put them up onto that roster? Because, Fidget's really been doing really great. And, so I've kind of been thinking about that. And, it's just a matter of how you want to go about your team and just always in the best interest for the players. Always.
Mhm. Yeah, so it seems like you really have.
Yeah. I, I, I don't know if I lagged out, but I didn't hear that question.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I just
No, it's
asked,
fine.
because you mentioned you were a full-time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, let me
No
get that
worries.
question again. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
No worries, no worries. So you also mentioned on top of being the CSUN team manager, you're also a full-time CSUN student. So what's your major?
I'm a graphic design major, art, so an art major. Yeah.
And does that ever play into, like, does that ever have a hand in your role as team manager at all?
Well, I've tried early on. I tried submitting like a roster reveal to my team because I wanted them to
Hmm.
post it on their page. Uh, It wasn't anything official though because the team, our CSUN Esports Club already has their designer. So I didn't want
Hmm.
the current designer to feel like I was trying to take his spot. So
Take
I
a
mean that's
dig,
his
yeah.
job. So that's his job. So I focus purely on the managing aspect when it comes to CSUN Esports. Yeah. Maybe eventually
Nice.
if he
And it seems
changes
like,
that position. Sorry. Yeah.
oh, you're like, maybe I'll get in
Yeah, maybe
there.
I might sneak in there a little, So I don't know. We'll see.
So you also mentioned before that being a manager is kind of like talking to these players, getting to know them, but also kind of getting to know what is good for the team.
Hmm.
So I mean, we've seen a lot of CSUN throughout these last 2 weeks. What would you say is your team's strength for both a red and for black?
I think just they're already they're already friends. They're already really connected. I could tell like these players are already playing on their free time with each other, and it's just like this team really just they're already kind of bonded, and they already have the little mesh set together, and they're really feeling good with each other. So I think that really is a big aspect. I feel like if you have a team that's very young, and you're still like fairly new players, you're gonna struggle a little more with actually being comfortable with yeah, if you're gonna get a trade off or just anything particular within the game being able to blind properly and hit the right smokes. So being able to properly coordinate with your team and being able to communicate properly with them is a lot easier, I think, when you've established a sense of relationship and a sense of synergy within the team.
Mhm.
So I think that's really what my team has right now, and that's really what they got going for them. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, and I gotta ask, you have so much on your plate. I mean, you make really great analysis for your team. How do
Mhm.
you kind of do it? How do you stay sane? What is like your own background for health and wellness that's able to keep you juggling everything?
Well, I mean, health and wellness so far, I just try to stay as organized as I possibly can. I got a calendar and I got a planner. I have my players use the calendar too. I'm like, hey, make sure to put your
Mhm.
freaking practice hours in because I'm not with you guys every time. So I try to keep them organized in that manner. My you gotta stay organized for the team itself. We're doing a lot right now, and I want the team to really be able to thrive and push off this. Even the whole club itself you know, I'm really having fun with it. So as a matter of like health wise, I mean, I just got to get my sleep in. I try to get, at least 8 hours. Sometimes I don't go to sleep at a reasonable time, but I try to get my 8 hours. But for the most part, I've always been somewhat a little driven. Even though it might not have paid off in competitive gaming, I wish I could have been one of those players, playing with them. It's sometimes fun, but they're a lot better than I am. So, I gotta stay
Hey,
focused and other and driven.
they need us.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, I
gotta
was about
stay.
to say they need scrubs like us.
Yeah, yeah. So I gotta stay. I'm more on like the stay on top and do the work behind the scenes kind of guy. So yeah.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. Most of the part I've just been having fun with it. So
Yeah, and I gotta ask, especially because you seem so confident in both of your teams. Do you have anything you want to say to CSUN's opponents out there as we like start getting into I get week 3 of the
Okay.
20?
Yeah, I mean, watch out. We got some potential heat coming your way. I'll tell you that. Got a lot of heat. I don't want to start bashing on no one in particular, but we got some heat. So watch out. Make sure you guys get your practice hours in. I'll tell you that.
Make sure you guys are using your planners.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I mean, me
Yeah.
myself, yeah, it's something I've always had fun with. So I just try to keep up with them the best I can, and make sure they're having fun. That's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Sebastian, thank you so much for finding the time to talk to me. This was awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and for anyone out there who wants to find out more and wants to watch more interviews with more players, more team managers, and all of the other fun behind the scenes stuff, please follow the Gamers EDU socials. They'll be in the bottom. And once again, Sebastian, thank you. It has been fun.
It's been a pleasure.
And we will see you. Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Excuse me. And we will see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye.